I'm Big Bob.
And I'm Ann.
What's up?
How's it going, everyone? I'm excited to be speaking at the Becoming a Better You event in Kansas City this September. I'm going to be speaking on how you can grow a personal brand, but also have more success in your business. The different things I've overcome over the years, from facing bankruptcy to then growing and building a multi-million-dollar portfolio, scaling companies, working with teams, having some fun along the way. But beyond that, there's going to be opportunity for a select group of people to actually pitch myself and Kevin Harrington, the original shark from Shark Tank, opportunity to pitch us, to win prizes, and to be able to potentially take home the number one place, the first place prize at this competition. So you're going to want to click the link below and apply to actually pitch us, apply for the pitch competition, but also come attend to this event. It's be a great event. Again, Becoming the Better You in Kansas City this September. Get your tickets, and I'll see you there.
So what's up, Big Bob?
What's up, Ann?
Did you miss me last week?
No,
Why?
because the show must go on.
But
You weren't
didn't
here.
miss me?
Were you in pain?
Extreme.
What kind of pain? Tell me all the details.
No. Kidney stones. Oh.
Ooh.
It was
Ooh.
nasty. And they kept me waiting in the ER for 2.5 hours.
Oh.
Ooh, that's
Ew.
impossible.
That's why I want to see the security footage from that room, because I was like,
Wait, before we get into your pain, let's start our show.
okay, you are the pain, so let's start it.
It's going to be one of those days.
One of those days.
One of those days.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's just showing off.
And
for
it's a
you.
Monday, that's why.
So we always start our show off with an applause and a great thank you to our executive producer, Miss Brenda Ringwood. I always have, it's a tongue twister for me, and who is also the founder of Becoming the Better You, which is a foundation that I greatly support and endorse, and want everybody to take a look at. It does wonderful things. We have a special guest here today. That's not going to be a pain.
Well, should I start talking about what you're going to do tomorrow? So we just go into this.
No.
Okay. Yes, we do have a very special guest.
And who's that?
This is Kim Winnett of Kim Winnett Homes with Keller Williams, because she's in it to
In
win
it to win it.
In it to win it.
You're in it to win
I
it?
am.
Let it go. That is great tagline.
Thank you.
How long you been a realtor?
I'm going on 19 years.
You must have started when you were 14.
But
Well, something like that.
yeah, well, I have to tell you this. We've been friends on Facebook, and this is the first time we met in person.
You don't have friends.
I know, neither do you. That's why we get along.
Right.
But anyway, just seeing her dynamic presence on Facebook and everything she does and the people in the community she touches and how she's a go-getter, positive and ambitious was one of the reasons I wanted her on the show. So perhaps she could wear off on you.
Should I be gentle?
Yes, please.
Should I be gentle?
Yes,
He can be
please.
kind of
I can
rough
be
around
crusty.
I can be
Yes.
combative,
Oh. Mm-hmm.
abusive, less than charming. She's laughing. I think that gives me permission to be me. Maybe not. So you're a realtor
I
here in
am.
Kansas City,
I am.
residential, commercial.
Residential.
And who do you align with?
Keller Williams Realty Partners.
That's a good company.
Yeah, we have the biggest office in Kansas City.
Where's that?
It's just down on Metcalf.
Down on Metcalf.
We're on 6850 College Boulevard.
College Boulevard, that whole
Yes,
big
we
building.
moved, yes. we
Are you
moved
in the
into that
office with
building.
Judy Johns?
Yes.
Okay,
I
all right.
am.
Judy Johns. That name sounds very familiar.
She's another dynamic person.
All right.
What would you know about dynamic?
I don't know. Don't know any. I'm in a committed relationship. I know nothing about beautiful women. They tell
Although
you.
you're sitting next to one.
That's why I know nothing about you, right? We're about to find out. How many houses a year do you sell?
Oh, goodness. It depends on the year. It can be anywhere from 12 to 24.
All right. The full-time gig,
Yes.
married, divorced.
Something like that.
It's complicated.
It's complicated.
All right. Children.
Yes, I have 3 children.
That's a safe topic.
And get this, she'll talk about her kids, but I do know that one of them is a chef.
Yes. So, have you ever been to the Wandering Vine?
Yes.
My daughter's the executive chef.
The food was wonderful.
Good. I'm glad to hear you say that.
Where is that?
The Canaan Castle on Johnson Drive.
Oh, okay.
It was like Renee Kelly's at one point.
Uh-huh,
Yes, it's
uh-huh.
done some evolution. And so,
So, what are some of the biggest challenges of being a residential realtor?
good question. I think that the biggest challenges would be probably like, let me give that some thought.
I got another question since you answered this one.
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends on the group of people that you're working with.
The challenge is the people you work with.
I can
Mhm.
appreciate that.
Mhm.
I can't. You're an independent rep. You go out and you do your own
Mhm.
solicitations, you close your own deals,
Everything.
you pass the paperwork off to some clerk who does it for you, and all you have to do is prospect, sell, and go on to the next one, right? So how does the
I don't
people
do
you-
that. Yeah, I work my business a different way.
Okay, how do you work your business?
So, started out, we call there's 2 types, transactional and relational. Transactional is let's get the Zillow leads, let's get as many leads as we can,
Right.
let's push them through, get the paperwork done. And then relational is more where once you're my client, like
For
my
life.
my mantra, exactly, my mantra for business was to make clients and friends for life. So I stay in touch on an ongoing basis.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I recently read a book called Giftology,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The Art of Gifting,
Yes.
right? And realtors probably do more gifting for their clients than probably any other industry I've ever heard of.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your go-to gifts?
I try to make it personal to the client. So once I meet them, they get a sheet from me that says, getting to know you. And so I ask a lot of questions, birthdays, anniversaries, children's birthdays, pet birthday, just get some information on them, your favorite restaurant, things like that. And so I try to tailor each one of those gifts
Uh-huh.
or whatever I pick to that particular client, things that they like.
So if they say the Bristol, they get a gift certificate to the Bristol periodically.
Yes. Usually like for wedding anniversaries.
Uh-huh.
Home anniversaries, they might get like a Home Depot card or Marshall's or Hobby Lobby, something they can go buy for their home for the next year.
Boy, that sounds awfully expensive, gifting that much. It's reinvesting in your business.
It is. It is.
That's why you give,
Mhm.
because instead of doing advertising,
It's the word of
It's-
mouth.
Mhm.
instead of doing promotions,
Mhm.
I mean, this is your marketing
That's
budget.
correct. That's correct.
Well, how did you get into real estate? Because I'll admit, at one point, I wanted to do it. I toyed with the idea, but it all seemed so overwhelming to me. Like, I figured with all the paperwork and everything, I'd mess up somewhere along the way. And I'm like, not for me. But it seems like you've got a really good handle on it.
Well, I mean, everything's a learning curve, no matter what you go in to do.
Absolutely.
So I just sort of jumped in with both feet. I was in a transition point in my life. And I'm like, okay, I have a college degree, but I've been stay-home mommy for a little while. And I kind of thought I wanted to be an interior designer. So this place would make me crazy. I would spend hours in
you
here.
look like an interior decorator.
But Kansas, they want you to have your degree. And so at 42, I was like, I don't know that I want to go back to school.
ASID,
Yes, they want you to have that. And so,
American Society for Interior Decorators.
Wow, you know something.
Well,
He
we
does.
sell
That's
sell
what he
flooring,
worked. You
and
do.
that's
Correct.
colors and fashions.
yeah, absolutely. And so then I went to a career night with Reese Nichols, and I'm like, I'm doing this. And then at that time, there was a connection with Kathy Kaler. She's
Yeah.
quite known in the
Taylor
Kansas
Bortnick.
market. Mhm. And so I thought, well, I have no COI. I didn't go to college here. I don't have any family here. So for me, it was a good fit to go on a team and learn my way around Kansas and be sort of under her wing, so to speak, for training.
We skipped the part of where are you from?
Originally from Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, really? How did you end up here?
We have a store in Dayton, Ohio.
You do?
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Where at in Dayton?
No idea.
Oh.
But we have a couple of
Wait,
stores.
was that the L
Yeah,
or
yeah,
was
yeah.
that the horns?
Don't encourage her, please.
Okay.
Please. This is tough and working with her anyways. But we have one in Dayton, one in Columbus, 3 in Cincinnati, one in Covington, and I think we have one up in the Cleveland area also.
Wow. I should be interviewing you. This should be flipped around to find out
Have you
more
heard
about
of him
it.
before?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's too
Yes.
bad.
It's gonna be one of those days.
I know.
It's gonna be one of those
Just
days.
tell yourself it's a Monday. It's all
It's a
good.
Monday.
Right. Grew up in Dayton.
hmm
How did you get to Kansas City?
Went from Ohio to Southern Cal for a while, moved back to Ohio, moved to Tulsa, met the person that I married there.
In Tulsa.
And then just along, we've been a couple different other places, South Carolina, West
Wow.
So
Virginia.
it depends. As soon as the picture goes up in the post office, you got to move.
Pretty much.
We're not talking about your story now. Stop it.
I thought she was going to interview me.
Yeah, I was. I can. We could flip it. I can flip the switch.
Really?
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear that. I only have one switch, so I can't switch.
Came to Kansas,
Right.
and again, I had 3 kids. I had a 6th grader, a 4th grader, and a kindergartner. And so we waited about the first year, and he came here for to work at J. Wolf, and then made a series of different moves
Right.
there. And then the next year, I got into real estate and just jumped in with both feet. And
What do you do for recreation?
I love to play pickleball.
I saw that.
I love watching
And
that.
she got a new.
I
new
love
dog.
watching it.
You love watching it. Yeah, I can
Yes.
imagine.
It's I love that. And yes, I have a new puppy. So spending time with her, taking her to dog parks, to meet people.
Isn't having a dog and a puppy an awful lot of work?
It's like having a kid,
Right.
a little toddler
I
again.
mean, you got to be home at 6 to feed her, and you got to be home to walk. And I mean,
It's a commitment.
huge commitment.
hmm
Well, what is a typical day like for you? I mean, maybe there's no typical, but just
There
balancing it
isn't.
all.
You just have certain things that you set up for your day. Okay, today I'm going to reach out to these different people. New leads that come in, you have your follow-up that you have to do with them, of course. Looking at the market, what's going on there. And then the more, like, I'm in the industry, there's so many other things. Like now I'm kind of getting into learning about investment properties,
Oh,
building
are you
wealth.
flipping?
things of that nature.
Or are you buying and holding?
Not yet. Well, that's what I'm trying to learn right now. What's the best thing? What are the procedures that you use to do that so that I can help my clients?
Well, you probably have a Rolodex of all the trades that are required to take an investment and fix it up. And
Right.
so
Mhm,
it won't be that challenging. You got a general contractor, the plumbers, the electricians,
Right.
right?
Right.
Who do you use
So-
for flooring?
Oh, well, let's see. We need to be using Big Bob's.
Neat. That means she's not using me yet. How come you're not using?
Okay.
We'd love to have the opportunity to earn your business. Thank you.
Yes.
So if you were to buy some investment properties, are you looking for the under 100,000, between 100 and quarter million, over a quarter million? What type of investment homes would you be buying?
Good question. So if you're going to hang on to them, turn them into rentals, there is kind of a sweet spot. You're looking for a certain age, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms. And then you're looking for something that's not going to be a lot of work. You do your inspection, you see what you've got to deal with, and then you put in Flipping, you're going to do a little bit more high-end stuff sometimes, depending on the price point. You had asked me about challenges. Ever since COVID, the whole market has sort of like just blown up. And this goes kind of, I want to go back to 2008, but we have a shortage of homes. If you haven't heard that on the news lately.
I read that in the newspaper. Yes.
And it's true. So the supply and demand theory applies because there's not enough homes for people to move into.
A
So
lot of apartments don't.
a lot of apartments are going up a lot. And so you've got that $100,000 sweet spot is kind of not there so much anymore. Because in
The bar's
2020,
moving.
2021, you have big box places sending letters to sellers, calling them on the phone, like just aggressively going after, we'll pay cash, and they're buying up houses in our area, which is difficult because I think about the families, the people, and the first-time home buyers were kind of pushed out of that market for the last couple of years.
So if you get a phone call from one of your former customers and say, I'm referring you to a friend, what is your closing ratio?
Oh, from referrals, 100%.
Okay.
Most,
good,
all my
okay,
business is
Obviously.
Right.
referral.
Well, not all.
It has been the last few years.
100% of your business is referral.
hmm Now I need some other streams so that I can expand,
Well, only if you want to make more money.
and I do.
I mean, not everybody. Do you work a 40-hour work week?
Pretty much.
All right. So if you're working a 40-hour work week and you're working by referrals, you're probably busy all the time. How much more can you handle?
If not busy, like actually doing the real estate, it's education. That's a huge thing.
You look
Yeah.
very educated.
Well, like, are you with your transactions and everything in your relationships? Do you have a team and someone that handles your administrative stuff, or do you do everything?
No, I pass off some of the paperwork to my transaction coordinator. And then I have a marketing gal. I tell her my brilliant ideas, and then she makes them come to life. And then I have kind of a personal assistant that, hey, will you do this pot buy? Will you go shop for this for me? Will you?
How many hours a week are you in the office?
I office from home.
Ah,
Yes.
do they have a desk for you there?
They do.
Mhm.
Wait,
I go up there and for meetings, sales meetings, investment group meetings. Definitely.
how big is your team?
3 of us.
Oh,
Me, myself, and I.
no,
I've
you
said that
no,
before.
you said you were on
Marketing
a team
person,
because
transaction.
well, you
Oh,
were
that
on a
I
team,
was on a
but
team.
now you're not on a team.
Yes. So I transitioned through the team. Then I worked with the builder for a while. Then I went on my own in 2015.
The builder sounds pretty sweet,
hmm
right?
hmm
That sounds like low-lying fruit.
It was.
But they're not building like they used to.
We need more homes.
We just picked up Summit.
Oh, did you? Okay.
As a vendor.
Oh,
And
great.
so they say they're not nearly as busy, but they're redefining their sweet spot
hmm
and what kind of homes to
Is that
build.
Fred?
I have no idea.
Oh, because I know who he is. I've worked with him.
Are you name dropping?
Yes, I am. I've been there before you.
So you know Fred.
Fred the Liberal.
Hi, Fred. Hope you're listening. Ann knows you.
He likes cars. Remember that.
You like cars.
Do you like cars?
No.
That's not your thing.
One of my philosophies is food is fuel, home is shelter, friends are good.
hmm
Life is either as simple or as complicated as you choose to make it once you have the basic necessities. And a car is just transportation,
hmm
right? A dinner is just a dinner, right? A bottle of wine is just a bottle of wine. There's no reason to make it more than it actually is.
hmm
I like to consider myself unpretentious and overindulgent. If there's something I want, I'm going to go out and get it. But there's nothing I don't have that I want.
That's a good segue.
That's a good place to be.
That's a
Right.
good segue because you're talking about that and gift giving. Kim came in with a gift for me today. Sorry, you didn't get one. And I can read this to you if you want me
Does it
to
have pictures?
on the cover. But I noticed on Facebook the other day, she posted this. The book is called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. And she had posted it on Facebook that she had just started it. And I was interested because we're at that point in life where you start to reevaluate what you're doing, what's important and what's not.
Do you have regrets?
To an extent, not what I don't want to say them here because they could be misinterpreted.
Well, I'll misinterpret it. It's okay. You can say them.
No. I'm not going to say what they are because you can't focus on those so much. It's just move forward.
Do you
with
have
what you
regrets?
do.
Oh, absolutely.
I think everybody does. Do you?
There's a lot of things I would do different
Maybe that's
because
it.
of the experience. And I have very few regrets of things that now that I know, absolutely no way I should have gone down that path. But regrets, not that many.
So you don't regret that book you wrote back in 2009?
Not at all.
Good. Neither do I.
Right. I can only think of maybe 2 or 3 decisions I've made in life that I wish I could undo. The rest of it is,
Yeah.
it got me where I am today. Maybe it wasn't the right decision, but I can live with the consequences of a bad decision. Now, there's some decisions I've made. I'm still suffering the consequences of a bad decision. Smoking. I wish I never became a smoker. It was a bad choice. And the consequences are, no matter how many times I try to quit, I'm still a smoker. I regret smoking. All right. But there's only maybe 1 or 2 others. By the way, you're not one of my regrets.
I was just making a joke about it. But since you started this, what have you learned so far?
A lot of good things. So the very first regret actually is that people didn't live their own life. In other words, you lived life to please someone else. You followed their path, maybe parents, maybe a spouse, or whatever. Like you were not true to yourself, your passion, and what you wanted to
A
do.
lot more difficult for a woman than a man.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I
No,
believe
I mean,
so.
men at an early age are told to go out and conquer the world,
Mhm.
and women, at maybe your generation or older, are told hook your
Be
wagon,
wives.
hook
Mhm.
your wagon to the
Sure.
guy who's going to take you where you want
Put
to
your
go.
career to the side.
Not your
Exactly.
career. You have no career.
That-
Hook your
right.
wagon to somebody else's career, and so you never had the opportunity. So thousands of regrets that you didn't have the opportunities. But your generation got educated a lot more than the generation before and the generation before that. And the playing field is getting more and more equal as to fulfilling expectations.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's getting better. It's still not there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are your regrets?
As I'm reading the book, I am assessing things. I will be honest. I regret sometimes, yes, maybe doing things that were my spouse's choice and not being true to myself of what I would do. Not a regret in a bad way, like, because everything's a learning experience, right?
Right.
The chapter I'm in now, I'm listening to, is about good friends. So there was a time when everything was work. And I didn't like look up from my computer when my children came in the room to talk to me. I got, yeah, okay.
I'll be there in a minute.
And like, and my head's down, my head's in the phone or whatever. That I didn't say, okay, I'm going to time manage better so that I have the time when I'm present like this, I'm
This-
present.
It's take the time to smell the roses. One of the things I put up on my posters is, if you only keep your nose on the grindstone, all you see is the grindstone. And you didn't prioritize. You thought work might have been more important at that moment than the kids coming home from school.
Mhm.
And all they needed was a hug and a glass of milk and a cookie, and everything be hunky-dory. Yeah, and I probably could have done more parenting. I don't know if I could have done more quality parenting, but I certainly could have done more quantity parenting.
Mhm.
Not a regret, it's just the way it was, because I had to be the one who built the empire to
Right.
pay for the young prince and princesses to come along and have something. And that was my life, and those were my choices. Oh,
Did
well.
you work longer hours than when you were younger and starting real
Because I
estate?
was, yes, getting started, learning things. At that point, you know, you don't have a client base to talk to. So it was pretty much, well, for lack of better terms, I would jokingly say I was a real estate hoe. Like whoever came through the door, yes, I'll take you to show houses, Pop-Tart, they call it Pop-Tart, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, you have to do what you have to do to earn the trust,
Right.
because that's the biggest purchase a person is going to make sometimes in their life is
I
their
hope
home.
so.
Yeah,
With the exception of divorce, it's the most expensive thing I've ever got involved in.
right. And so you have to earn the trust of a person,
Right.
right? If, you know, so it takes time to build those relationships and earn that trust, and they have to know. So a lot of it, yes, was just work, and okay, I've got to do this and get this client to try to start building that base.
So Kim, with all these years of experience and the way you touch base with them a lot, you must be invited to hundreds of Christmas parties.
Not hundreds.
Well, tens.
Tens, yes.
That's wonderful. I mean,
It's nice,
how many
yes.
real friends have you built out of the business?
Actually, I would say all my friends right now are from the business. I'm not from here. I don't have family from here. My spouse is living in another state, so it's my 3 children and me and my clients today. I text
How old are your
clients
kids now?
30, 28, and 23.
Are you a grandmother yet?
No, not yet.
Working on it?
No,
They're
they're
not
like, no,
working.
mom, sorry.
No,
Aw.
no.
No one's married. They're like, no kids for us right now.
Oh. Someday.
So hence puppy comes along.
There we
That's
go.
the puppy, right?
What's
fills
your
in that
dog's
void.
name again?
Zuri.
Zuri. Zuri. I was going to say Zoe. but
Zuri.
Zuri.
It's
Zuri.
Swahili for beauty.
I thought it was short for Missouri.
No.
Zuri.
But if I say it fast, oh, this is Miss Zuri, people.
Oh,
Sometimes
Miss
do think
Zuri. That's cute.
Yeah. So
Oh, wow.
yes. So yeah, the language of sales. Yeah. It's Missouri. It's
Right.
short for
You ever taken her along on a transaction or anything?
yes. She sits in the Jeep when I
Seals the
show
deal?
houses. Hmm.
When we're 40 years old, business 40 years old. My son is going to be 39, oldest son. At the beginning of time, when he was 6 weeks old, we used to take him to the business every day. And he'd sit in the office and he'd listen to the copy machine, the telephones. He didn't have the toys in the crib. We couldn't afford those. So that was the stimulation. I used to pick him up and take him out into the sales floor and say, I'll let you hold my baby if you buy something.
Did it work?
Yes.
I bet it did.
Yes. You can hold my baby if you buy something.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You can pet my dog if you buy this house.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. That's a good strategy.
Yes.
See, he's much more interesting than me. I should be interviewing him.
Oh, he's got a
Go ahead.
story.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. What prompted you to start Big Bob's Flooring?
Oh,
Opportunity.
And who presented the opportunity?
Fate.
Fate.
give her a copy of your book, too.
I'll
before
give you a copy. It's all in my book.
I wrote it.
Oh, I would love that.
Well,
In your voice.
Yes. Basically, she just,
I ghost wrote it.
right. Basically, she wasn't there. I told my story and she wrote the story. But she did a spectacular job of capturing my voice, which is pretty difficult
That's
because it's
difficult.
unlike anybody else's voice.
Right.
My father said, after reading the book, he says, it was like sitting at the table with you and,
And
telling
hearing you.
stories.
Yeah.
And for that, Ann
That's
gets,
a good writer.
yeah.
Yeah. That's a
Oh,
good
fantastic.
writer. Absolutely.
Ow, that's where you hit
That
me
was a lot,
yesterday.
Pat.
So when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? Did you have any aspirations?
I wanted to be a football coach, but when that didn't, well, for
Well, you
whatever,
did it a little bit.
yeah, I did a lot. I spent 9 years coaching, but football. But when I was 22 years old, 23 years old, my dad says, now that you're not coaching football anymore, what do you want to be? And I said, I want to be an entrepreneur.
Hmm,
And this is 50 years ago.
that's a
He's-
big deal.
He said, Entrepreneur. There's,
What's that?
there's no such thing as an entrepreneur.
Does
You're
it
a
come with
school-
health insurance?
You're a school teacher.
Yeah, no.
You're a school teacher. You're an accountant. You're a ditch digger. You have a job.
Mhm.
There's no such thing as entrepreneur. What do you think an entrepreneur is? And I said, an entrepreneur is someone who creates an opportunity in a void.
Mhm.
It did not exist before.
Mhm.
See, I don't think you're an entrepreneur. You're a realtor. You might be a small business owner,
Right.
but an entrepreneur is someone who creates a business in a void where no business like it ever existed
Right.
before.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I mean, a guy who buys a barber shop, he's a small business owner,
Owner. Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
The guy who starts his own shoe store, he's a small business owner, starts a
Mhm.
bake. But everybody, I think that's one of the most overused words is
Mhm.
entrepreneur.
Yes. Mhm.
You can be entrepreneurial, you can be an entrepreneur, you can be an expreneur, but entrepreneur is someone who creates a new business opportunity in a void
Mhm.
with no touchstones. Nobody can go study from and say, how do you do this?
Right. Right.
That's my story.
No, I love that because I do listen to a lot of podcasts, things about entrepreneurs and like find the void and fill it. Find the need. What are you bringing? What are
Find
you
a void
bringing?
versus
Bring
find the void.
value.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Instead of finding a need and fulfilling, you find a void and create the
The
need.
need.
You
Oh,
create
okay.
the need.
Okay.
That's what an entrepreneur does. He
That's
finds a void
interesting.
and he
Yes.
creates the need.
Mm-hmm.
The need wasn't there before.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you ever want to watch interesting podcasts, we've done how many of these?
I don't know. I've been doing this since last May, April.
Well, I know I've done about 30.
Mm-hmm.
I had kidney stones.
Yeah. Then there was the ice storm.
I came in for that.
No, not the second one.
Yes, I did.
And what about your knee?
My knee. I never skipped for my knee. I don't have a knee issue. You're gonna have one.
What about
so-
your headache?
What headache? You're the headache. And I'm still here. Jiminy Cricket.
Hold on a second. Let's push you away. You're still here. How long? How long are you going to go until you retire?
I don't know.
I mean, you look like you got another 30 years on you to work hard.
That's actually what I'm
Yeah.
kind of believing for. I turned 60 this past year.
No way.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm
60.
thinking I've got 30 more years to do some
Something.
shaking and moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Shut up.
She's sick. How old are you, Ed?
I turned 60 last year.
Boy, you look fantastic for
Well,
60.
thank you. Thank you.
Shut up. Yeah, I showed him your
Keep
photo.
keep leaning that way because
Shut
you're out of
up.
the screen when you lean that way.
At least I will always be younger than you.
No, you'll catch up eventually. But you look. Ow! Elder abuse. She's hitting me again. Yeah, there's a lot of dynamic people who some can, some can't, some shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking politics, but some can, some do, and some shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
But some people do their best work after 60. Seriously, I believe that.
Yeah, Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who started things later in life. There's still hope for you.
Hey, if Martha Stewart
Yeah.
What was it? She
Can
she
go.
posted for
do what she
Yeah.
did and then reinvent herself
Went to jail.
well,
And
that was a
then
learning
came out
experience.
and totally reinvented that. Just, yeah,
Mind-boggling.
pretty
Good for her.
much. Yeah.
Good for
It's
her.
like, okay, we are in the land of opportunity if you want to take it, if you want to do it.
So, do your kids still live here in town?
They do.
How often do you get together with your kids?
My son and I will watch the Chiefs game. My
Right.
daughter, that's the chef. She works a ton. So in order to see her, I have to go eat at her restaurant.
She doesn't come over and cook for you periodically?
Oh, no, haven't. Well, she does at Thanksgiving and Christmas.
But she wants
she
to be
will
off the
prepare.
clock.
Wait. Do you consider yourself a Chiefs fan?
Oh, yes,
Have you ever watched a football game by yourself?
all the time.
See, for me, that's the definition of a Chiefs fan. Somebody who will watch the game by themselves.
Mhm.
If they only have to do it because there's friends over or your spouse is doing it, and then you're not really a fan. You're accommodating,
Right.
right?
Mhm. I would prefer sometimes not when people say, "You want to come over?" And I'm like, "I'm good," because I want to be in my own living room watching what I'm watching, screaming my head off,
Right.
with nobody distracting me. So,
And that's the reason we can't watch football together. I can't be with somebody who's screaming their head off, right? I want to watch it in solitude. I want to use the profanity I'm not allowed to use on this show periodically. Because thank you for Xing that out, Brenda. I appreciate that. Putting some beeps in there. Yeah, fire truck.
hmm
Do you watch football by yourself?
I watch it with Ed.
Have you ever watched it by yourself?
I refuse to answer that on the grounds it might make me look
Incriminated.
stupid.
No, it doesn't make you look stupid.
No, I've never watched it by myself.
You sound stupid. You don't look stupid.
Well, I'm more interested in how I look and not how I sound.
There you go. And that's, well, we won't go there either.
You're so mean.
You're
I
so,
could have died last week in the ER, and you're treating me like
do you want to make this about you?
no.
Is it always got to be about you?
It does, as a matter of fact.
Why don't you interview Ann?
Exactly. Yes.
Let's ask Ann some interesting
No,
questions.
I'm not interesting.
And did you always want to be a writer
I
when
don't
you were
know.
growing up?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Wait a minute. What was it?
I don't know. I just fell into it. Okay.
Do you know she was a professional tennis player?
Really?
Well, I played in college and went to nationals and taught for several years.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did not know that. Because
Either did.
again, this is our first time meeting.
We just see each other
Really?
on Facebook.
We're like friends through social
Facebook,
media.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, maybe now you can go out and spend time together.
Well, everybody's telling me to pick
you
up.
guys have a
pickleball.
lot in common. Neither one of you can cook.
No, actually, I'm a good cook. That's where I think my daughter gets it.
Really?
So, yes.
Just don't.
Jeez.
I'm a horrible cook, so don't even look my way.
There's a lot of reasons I don't want to look your way, besides you being a terrible cook.
But I still raised 3 boys.
How did the two of you get connected? You wrote
By
his
accident.
book for him. You fell into it.
Yeah,
At a networking event, I
It-
met
it was
somebody who
terrible.
worked for him.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
And what were you wanting to write a book? What were you needing for your business that prompted you to reach out to her?
I can tell the story better because I was there.
I was there. He wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Oh,
No, I was at a networking event and introduced myself as a writer, and an individual who no longer works for him but did at the time came up to me afterwards and said, "Hey, the gentleman for whom I work is interested in writing a book. Would you like to meet him?" And I'm like, "Who is he?" And he told me. I'm like, "Well, despite that name, I'll meet him anyway." And so
See, you're making this stuff up as you go along. You're
No.
embellishing the story.
No.
Tell it the way it was.
Then you finish.
No.
No.
somebody tell it.
All right. So she came in and I said, "Would you write a book?" She says, "Yeah." We asked for a price, talked about the price. I said, "Fine, let's go to work now." She go, I didn't think I was going to start working today. I said, "You here? Let's go to work." And she walked out and with pages of notes and a little flustered, came back and said, "I was intimidated."
Oh, I was highly intimidated of him. You scared me.
Yeah.
How many hours did the two of you spend
We spent
together?
good over a year putting it together.
Like
but
No,
a few
no,
hours
no.
here and there when you had
I-
inspiration.
I would say together 30, 40 hours. But she probably had to put a couple of 100 hours into the
Right,
book.
behind the scenes, so
Right.
to speak.
yeah.
So she would get your story and ask questions. Did you have the vision for what you wanted to portray through the book?
Oh, I think I had a pretty good clue of what she didn't have to ask too many questions.
I just sat there and listened.
And you
Right.
just said,
Right.
transcribed?
I mean, yeah, I can tell my stories for hours upon hours.
Mm.
over
And,
and over.
My kids have a thing. If I start telling a story they've heard before 3 times,
Mhm,
they just go like this.
mhm,
That means they've heard the story 3 times. They don't need to hear it again.
mhm.
So Ann was hearing the stories for the first time.
So it's pretty exciting.
Oh, yeah, I
Yes.
get to tell all my
Yes.
stories.
You had a captive audience.
Yes,
Yeah.
and paid well to listen.
And he even had me speak at one of his conventions.
Very nice.
Right. We had stores nationwide. When Ann came and was a guest speaker.
Nice.
She writes better than she speaks.
Shut up.
And so, kind of along the lines of this book, where do you see your last days going? You had asked me about the next 30 years. What about you?
Tell you a story. About 20 years ago, I'm having my will written up, and attorney says, "Well, if you walk out of here and get hit by a bus," I go, "What do you mean hit by a bus?" And he says, "Well, if you unexpectedly die," and I said, "Well, that's not how I want to die." He said, "Well, how do you want to die?" I said, "I'd like to be shot in the back of the head by a jealous husband." So the rest of the conversation is you walk out of here and get shot in the back of the head. So how do I want to die? Painlessly. I don't mind.
Take notes.
How to inflict the most pain.
The second version.
Right.
Right.
How to inflict
Book number 2.
Right. No, I already got a title for my next book.
What is it?
Politics, Sex, and Religion.
Oh, okay.
Right. The first book is called Wartime Retail.
Okay.
We'll give you a copy.
I would like that. Thank
yeah.
you.
It's a great bathroom reading. A lot of pictures.
I don't read in the bathroom.
Is it only guys who read in the
Yes, I
bathroom?
think so. Women
I
are a
think
lot
so.
more
I'm like
efficient.
in and out, like it's
There
not a
you
fun
go.
place. No.
Yeah,
Ooh.
no. And why would you take a book in there? Ew.
Why?
Exactly, because I'm like, I think the germs somehow are flying
Oh,
around.
you know they are.
Yes. Kind of like cootie spray when you were kids.
Yeah.
You remember cootie spray when you were in elementary school? Shh.
I was the cootie spray. I was dirty little Johnny.
Oh no.
Yeah. Let's see. So one son, you see one son alive?
Just when we have Chiefs games. Then sometimes we'll have movie night in the winter months. So he'll come over and I say, what we like to watch action movies together.
Ah,
So
okay.
yes,
All right.
yes.
And the youngest,
She lives with me.
how old is she?
23.
Is she the one who nannies?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I'm trying to help her find her way in life. So that's a journey.
It's not you, and it's not your kids. It's society.
Yeah. I've heard
It
that
really
from
is
many
tough.
people.
Right.
Yeah, it is. She even told me today. So for a while she was saving money. She wanted to move out, right? Because how embarrassing living with your mother. And I'm like, I think
Does she-
you got it
did-
pretty good. I
Does she
pay
bring
for
boys over?
everything
Does she bring boys over?
occasionally.
Really?
Mhm. But not so much. She got her heart broken, and so now she's anti-male.
Does she like girls instead?
No.
Listen to you.
But she said to me, so whenever she's like, oh my gosh, this is the people that she nannies for, very helpful, talking about her future. And she realizes, oh, on this piddly salary, I can't move out even with a roommate.
Mm-mm.
And so then she starts embracing, oh, wait a minute. So she's showing me all these TikToks that the parents are sitting there like, she gets to come home to a warm home cooked meal. She gets to take hot showers because she's 23. She lives at home. So she's embracing it now. And I'm like, but she told me today, she goes, so I have a plan. I'm thinking maybe I'll live at home till I'm 45. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Let's sit down, have a
Do you
talk.
charge your rent?
I'm going to start charging her rent.
Does she know that?
She does.
Okay.
She
No.
does.
Because not my place, but I'm making a recommendation anyways. Have her go out an apartment shop.
She's done that. Mhm.
It's going to cost $1,200 a month.
Mhm.
All right. Have her do her own grocery shopping. Oh, it's going to cost $400 a month.
She's been doing that. That's why now she's like, oh, wait a minute. Living with mom's not
Look-
such a bad
look-
gig.
Mhm.
Let her look at the electric bill, this bill, that bill, and charge her 50%.
Mhm.
Charge her 50% and say, I will charge you 50% if you put X amount of dollars into savings. right? We'll put it into a joint account. And when you move out, I'll match your savings. So over a 3-year period of time, if you can save $15,000, I'll match the $15,000 to help you move out and find
Mhm.
something on your own,
That's a good idea.
right? But there has to be some fiscal responsibility that it's all not for nails, hairs, and a good time and new purse, that she owes some money every
Mhm.
month for bills,
Mhm.
and that savings is what is being lost on this generation.
Mhm. So she is
They don't
saving.
save.
She's doing a good job of that
Right.
because she gets to eat for free and live for free. No water, no
Wow.
heat, no electric. Yeah, so that needs to change.
Can I move in?
Just for sure. Anybody else? I have a couple rooms.
Right. Wait.
Well, if somebody wanted to work with you and they know, gosh, I want to buy a house, I want to sell my house, you seem like a great person with whom to work. How would they get in touch with you? How do they reach you?
They can. My cell phone number is 913.
Hold on. Can we put this up on the screen, or do you have to say it real slow?
I say it real slow.
Why don't you say it
Okay.
slow?
Then she'll put it on the screen.
Look in the screen and
Yes. If someone wants to get in touch with me to talk about real estate, purchasing a home, selling a home, investing in real estate, my website is kimwinnetthomes.com. There's 2 N's in Winnett and 2 T's. And then my cell phone is 913-660-4469.
thank you.
Of
Isn't
course.
she amazing?
Yeah. So if somebody calls you, how long does it? See, I don't answer the phone when I don't recognize the phone number.
Mm-hmm.
I got an automatic response on my phone says, I don't recognize your phone. Please text.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do that. You pick up the phone every time somebody
Not
calls
every
you.
time, because I get solicited a lot. So I will do a voicemail every single morning that says, "You've reached Kim Winnett. I'll be in and out of appointments today."
You say today's Monday?
I do. I did today. Today is Monday, February the 5th. And I'm going to be in and out of appointments. Thank you for calling. Please leave your name and number. Or if it's more convenient, text me. And so that way, but like I said, a lot of them are referral based. So I already know the call is coming in. We've maybe connected through text or over the internet. And then I also, I'm on the relocation team. So I do get assigned clients that are moving to the area.
That's
So,
wonderful.
Yes.
Like
Mhm.
shooting fish in a barrel.
Mhm. Yeah, it's pretty
Right.
simple.
They got to buy a house.
Right. Unless, like, sometimes they might have they're moving back for family or whatever. And, oh, you've got to use my cousin Susie Q, whatever.
Next door
So,
neighbor.
yeah.
My
Yeah.
cousin's second uncle's next door neighbor down the road.
Right. Right. Who just got their license.
Right.
So we want to
doesn't
give them
know
a
anything.
chance.
Right.
But, it's only the biggest purchase you're going to make.
What is your average ticket?
Pardon?
What is the average home you buy or sell?
My average price point is right around the $375 mark.
Well, you knew that right off the top of your head, so that wasn't a guess.
Yeah. You have to know your numbers.
Right.
So, yeah.
Shark Tank. 375. So is it mostly Johnson County?
Yes, I'm licensed in Kansas and Missouri, but primarily it tends to be the Johnson County area.
North Johnson County versus South Johnson County.
All over,
All right.
all over, really.
Because
yes.
when you get south, I didn't think there were that many 375 homes.
Well, you asked me an average, so
Right.
I'm averaging.
Okay.
Yes, right.
What's the most expensive house you've done?
That was a while back. I think it was like $2 million.
$2 million.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yes.
How long did you? Were you the listing agent or the?
I think listing. Right. Yes, and those
Wow.
take longer. You can expect upper bracket real estate, anything maybe over $1 million. That it could take up to a year, depending on the
Wow.
market, but not necessarily always.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Do you got any closing questions?
Oh, I just want to get together with her for lunch or something, and you're not invited.
Where do you want to take me? If you're going to take her out, where you?
Okay, well then we'll make it a threesome. I had to throw that in there because I knew you.
Look,
he kind of jumped
I'm
on
in
that.
a committed relationship. I appreciate you flirting with me like that. Thank you very much. But it cannot happen because I'm in a committed relationship.
As am I.
No, you're committed. I don't know
You
if
need to be committed.
No, you need to be committed. I don't know if you need to be.
And we're
you've been
going back
committed
to the way that you said you would want to die.
Right.
A jealous
Ed
husband
has
shot
a
in the
pistol.
head.
Ed has a gun.
We're gonna get together, but you're more than welcome to join us.
I just
for comic
bring
relief.
me.
The comic relief.
Just bring me the leftovers.
Okay.
All right, Kimberly. Thank you
It's
very,
been a
very much.
pleasure
It's been
meeting
a
you.
pleasure.
You are
Thank
welcome.
I
You
can't
are
wait to look
welcome.
at it.
Yes.
Okie dokie. Till next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.